To anyone who's still a virgin, I would say just hold on to it and don't worry about it and don't think about it. Hold on to it until you find someone who you love, and then you just naturally lose it. I wanted to talk about this topic for two reasons. First reason is that it seems like younger and younger people, especially guys, obsess over sex and obsess over losing their virginity as fast as possible and getting girls fast and as many as possible. And I am quite certain, even though this channel is just bro science and anecdotal stuff, I am quite sure it's related to the spread of pornography. And I think that the direction this world has been going for a while is actually a negative and a bad direction. But having said that, I think we now have a unique opportunity to change this culture and to actually swing it back a little bit, not too much. We don't want to go back into the past where everything sucks. We want to go back towards the past where there were values that were actually good, but then we lost those values and we lost meaning along the way. Because I don't know if you have noticed, but the way we speak about losing virginity is we use the word lose. And the reason is that people and society actually used to value virginity. And I know it wasn't exactly for the best reasons. A lot of it has to do actually with men valuing women being virgin, and that's obviously not very good either. But I do feel like with all this talk, especially in the US and in the West, about abortion and all this, I can't help but to just think, why do people have to have so much sex with strangers with whom they can't raise a kid with? Why do we as a society consider sex something so easy and something we can just do without any consequences? Because even if we don't talk about kids, there are emotional consequences with sex. And so the part I want to play in this is, as I make these videos on this channel, I want to actually advocate for loving, healthy, long-term relationships, because that's what I have seen in my parents, and that is what I want for my own life and for my own future. And I genuinely believe that we can actually change this culture for the better. It is time to stop and take a look at why people have become more miserable and more depressed than ever before, even though life is easier than ever before. We have lost our heart and our soul somewhere along the way. So if you are interested in topics like this, then remember to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss the future videos. I appreciate it a lot if you support the channel and leave a comment especially. I started this channel as a self-improvement channel, and it was kind of self-centered, but now I'm shifting this channel a little bit more into societal stuff and relationship stuff, because those are really interesting, and I want to create a community on this channel where in the comments I would have guys and girls both having discussions and leaving comments. Now I have seen that there's a lot of negative guys. I get a lot of comments in my previous video from men who were really cynical and negative about relationships and women. So it would be fascinating to have more comments from women and see what they think. But let us return to the original topic of this video. You see, in the beginning of this video, I said that you should hold on to it, to the status of virginity, which it is. It is a societal status. The society gives you this label, and then you hold on to this status. Are you a virgin or not a virgin? And it's so silly that people focus about what others think of them. I suppose that the reason why the virginity status is something that is deemed so important in this society is that it's considered some kind of a marker of your romantic and social skills, because if you're a guy and you can't get a girl, then it means that you are too shy or you don't have status. You don't have money, you don't have physical attraction, you don't have skills. So I suppose that's why it kind of makes sense that it holds some kind of value in the natural hierarchy of human beings. But at the same time, the fact is that these days, you can literally pay a woman to get rid of your virginity. And of course now we have more single people, and we have kind of more older virgins because we have the internet, we have internet porn, we have different ways to masturbate, we have all these things, so it only makes sense. So that's why I think these days we can't compare ourselves to the past version of what people were then and what people were doing back then. So I would like to flip that around and actually look at it as, yeah, I don't want to do that with just anyone, with the first person that I come across with. I have values, I have pride, I have confidence in walking my own path and becoming the best man I can be so that I can find the love of my life and be the best possible man for that woman. That's how people should approach this thing, in my opinion. As a guy, I know that when I was young, I was in my teenage years, something like 15, and that's when I started to really think about these things. And I know at that age, you really care about who's gonna be first in the friend group. And you don't really try to speed run it, but when you do lose your virginity, you actually feel like you achieved something. You actually feel like, whew, I'm glad I got that over with. Because now I don't have to be afraid that I'm gonna be like 30 years old and be a virgin as a guy. There's so much shame attached to it. But the funniest thing of all is the fact that, especially you guys out there, I know most of you are watching porn. And I can tell you right now, the more you watch pornography, the more disappointed you will be when you get to that amazing goal that all you young guys are dreaming about, which is losing your virginity. You will be so disappointed if you're watching a lot of pornography right now. And I will go into those reasons later in another video because it's gonna be too long to talk about that right now. But I'm telling you, I had many guy friends when I was young and we talked about this and we all agreed on this. So that's what I would say to you. First thing you wanna do before you find your loved one is you wanna get rid of your porn consumption. And so, on a final note, I just want to say, to clarify, I understand there's people who are just freaking nymphomaniacs. There's people who love sex and who will always be that way and who will always be doing it with multiple different people. And they do it, they start young and they stop when they're old, or they stop never. I know there's all kinds of people out there. This video is only for those people who worry about this thing, because I know there's so many, especially the younger audience. So many people worry about that, and there's no reason to worry. It's actually something to be proud of, because the thing you should be focusing on, if you want to find happiness, long-term, steady, stable happiness, you want to find somebody who doesn't focus on the now, who doesn't focus on short-term pleasure. You want someone who actually has values and who focuses on the long-term happiness, focuses on building something together and gives meaning to things like making love. And always remember, guys, this message is for men, and I hope I will get some comments from women as well on this topic. But for guys, again, good women don't care about your body count. The best women don't care about your body count, whether it's a lot or it's zero. You know those girls who shame guys because they haven't had multiple partners? Those exist these days, and it's really effed up. So the guys, I would say, have confidence and walk with your head high. And if you ever come across a girl who's like, oh, you're still single, you're still virgin, oh my god, you're such a loser, then I think we all know what we should do with those people. We should just look at them. We should just pity them, because that's sad. And you instead You have pride, you have confidence, and you walk with your head high, and you are a man of value. You are a man of honor, and you are looking for love. You're not looking for lust, you're looking for love. And a really good book for everyone to read is something called The Way of the Superior Man, because that book teaches you about the spirituality and the emotional connection of sex. That book is a little bit silly at times because it's a bit overly spiritual, but if you just don't take it too literally and you just take the ideas from that book, it's a really good book to live by. So that's my message for the young guys out there. And if there's any women watching this, then please do leave those comments. I want to create more interaction in the comments, and I want to create a more diverse audience now that I'm shifting this channel towards more broader topics and more towards societal issues and relationships, and not just self-centered self-improvement, which I also will be talking about as well. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.